So wearing a mask, you go, why are you doing that? And what you're doing is recycling the air, which will actually lower your immune system.
Exactly.
So when a real virus comes along in November, you're fucked because you've got no immune system to stand up to it. So the people who've missed out on the operation making way for COVID victims that didn't exist will die. People who've got a low immune system will die. So the figures at the end of this year are going to be massive of COVID-19 death, and half of it self-inflicted.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the plan all along. I have some, we'll get into it today, but I have some massive stuff about Bill Gates, through Bill Gates, and then the real details of what the cabal plan was. And you're right on top of it, Charlie. That's it. And then the 5G on top of that, and we would have gone down for the count. There just people like yourself and I, we would have been singled out, taken down individually, and then the rest of the sheeple just would have been rounded up. Yeah. And we would have gone down for the count. If there wasn't somebody here with a plan, we would have gone down for the count. This is it.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. And as one of my friends said earlier, we're currently in the Third World War. And nobody's having to fight, but the digital warriors are having to fight like hell.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And let me make this point here. This is the worst war in history. When everything comes out and you see the amount of victims, because nobody knows the start date of this war. And this war started sometime a little after World War II. Yeah. When their nefarious plans, basically when the Korean War started is when this whole new world order thing leading, and it was always going to be leading, by the way, to the big event, which was 9/11. And then 9/11 was always going to be leading to the coronavirus. The Corona is crowned. And with this virus, they were going to crown themselves as our king, as our God. And by the way, folks, you wonder why they call this COVID-19, and we're in the year 2020. It's 19 years after September 11, 2001. They had this planned out for a long time. COVID-19 is the 19 years to get us to 2020.
Yeah, well, I was first told about it 6 years ago.
Wow.
And then I was told about it 2 years ago, and then in December they told me, right, we're ready to go. We're going to collapse the world's economy. Now, this is something that's very interesting, Charlie. When people talk about you and I, the word conspiracy theorist always gets thrown at us. but the fact is, we're truth seekers. And at the end of the day, when somebody tells you something in December last year and it happens in March this year, that's not a conspiracy. That's a truth. That's a blatant truth.
Yeah.
And this is where they let themselves down. Is when I've been told something's going to happen, and right from day one when it happened, I came out and told everybody, right from day one. I've done 130, 140 videos, and from day one when this started, in fact, before day one, I used to do my little walks in the morning and just do my little chat on my phone and just tell the world what was happening in life. And I had 200 followers or something like that. Sorry, 37 subscribers, and my videos got 200 views or something, 100 views, something like that. And then when the date came along in March and we went into lockdown, that's when I started to do my videos. And from every single day, and explain to people, the virus, the vaccine, 5G, the riots, alien invasion, whatever you want to call everything, is purely a smokescreen to cover up the Great Awakening, but the global financial reset. And I've said that from day one. And from day one, everyone thought I was nuts, including my wife. Until such times as she started to see that things didn't add up. And as my mother always told me, if it looks like shit and it smells like shit, you can bet your life it's shit.
That's right. That's right. And that's why your channel has skyrocketed from whatever it was when it started.
37 subscribers to 83,000 in a very short period of time.
Yeah. Yeah, because people, it's the greatest, you and I are onto something here, and that is the greatest growth market in history, because it's called the truth,
Yep.
because it hasn't existed for thousands of years. It always exists, but it's been hidden from us for thousands of years. And people are a little afraid at first, but once they get past that threshold, there's going to be just a flood, because and nobody else seems to be wanting to provide it to others. So it's kind of bizarre, but it seems like it's you and I, friend.
It is, and the funniest thing, you've probably had it said to you, aren't you worried about your reputation? That's probably the last thing on my mind right now. That's a fascinating area, isn't it, right now? Because we're starting to see the transition from the USD to the USN. So the digital currency of the US note, the quantum financial system, which I heard somebody else call it another name the other day, beginning with C. I can't remember what it was called now. But the digital system, that's not to say, I don't think that cash will disappear altogether right now. I think we'll move across to the quantum financial system, which is basically, from what I understand, a blockchain system, the same as Bitcoin and what have you. It's a digital system. But there will be cash, there will still be cash out there, hence the new USN, the US note, which as far as the Americans will understand from the outside, I understand, it'll just look like it's a new $100 bill. But the difference is that one will be backed by gold.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of things that have already been done. In fact, virtually everything has already been done. That the deeper you go in, the fewer and fewer families that are involved as part of the Q team. So right at the very, very core of it, you're literally getting down to, which is interesting because it's kind of like the cabal as well, how they centralize their power into a very, very small core of these inner families. And inside the Q team, it works the same way. So something that everyone should really, really note is that the Trump family are all hard at work, and that the Kennedy family, you have no idea how deeply involved the Kennedy family is with this, and how they are deeply, deeply involved. The closer you go in with the Q team, the fewer and fewer families that are involved, and this is a massive, very grassroots, home-based movement at its very core, and then on top of that, it's military based, and you just have to somehow wrap your heads around this, folks, that people in the military are not evil. A lot of them are order followers, because that's how the military is traditionally been structured, and therefore they don't think. But it's never made the military, soldiers or officers, hasn't made them inherently evil. This has been the downfall, and it was the absolute downfall for the cabal, because what's the main number one reason why a person voluntarily goes into the military? Because they think it's the biggest way in which they can make a difference to this world, that they can help children, that they can help their country, that they can help mankind, that they can help peace, is by getting involved at this level. And so in virtually, say, 99% of all the people that have ever gone into the military outside of the draft, that's why they've gone into it. So the core of these military families are people that want to make a difference. And when the NSA, now remember folks, the NSA were the last ones to get the technology that the American cabal unleashed out to observe us, to spy on us, and to capture information on us. The very last group to get that technology was the NSA. Why? Because the military is whom they trust the least. It's whom the cabal trusts the least, is the military. When they gave the NSA this capacity to spy, the NSA went, oh my God, they use the same smartphones. They use the same cell phones. They're using the same system. It means that their calls are being routed using the same technology, the same carriers, the same services. And it means that they are using the same storage devices as well. So when Q says, We have it all. Nothing can stop what's coming. We have it all. They have it all. They trust me on this point. Don't worry about anything. Anyone who goes to court, and it's all going to be happening very soon because they're running up against time limits. So they have to start this sooner than later. Everybody, every single person, Obama included, everybody who gets called up in these investigations is going down. They're not calling up anyone that they're not sure of, or you know, it's 50-50. They might be able to charge them, or they'll be acquitted. 100% certainty with all of these people, they're going down. And when you screw children, and then you torture children, and then you skin children alive, and you participate in this pay-for-play system to create calamity across the earth, to steal children for your adrenochrome, you're going to die. There is no prison sentence for these people. And our job, you need to wrap your heads around this one, my dear friends. Our job isn't to necessarily pass ultimate judgment. Our job is we have to create a meeting between these people and God. And we are just going to facilitate that meeting. The guillotine, the gun to the back of the head, the hangman's noose, all we're doing is facilitating a meeting between them and God will take care of the rest. That's all we're doing here.
Yeah. That's one of Putin's favorite sayings, which I absolutely love. It's not my job to judge you. My job is to send you to a man who will.
Yep.
And it's very, very true. And it was very interesting how Trump very early on changed the law that if you had crimes against humanity in that area, the paedophile area, the adrenochrome area, it carried a mandatory death sentence.
It did. It did. It's all been there. And that we were probably like yourself, we were, I think the first ones, or along with you, the first ones to lay out all of these executive orders. And people are going like, why are you telling this stuff? Because there's a plan. It's an incredible plan, and it's coming, and nothing can stop it. These executive orders, the first 4 that we laid out, there's 8 now. But the first 4 that we laid out told you everything you needed to know. And that's why don't worry about this 5G and the scare that don't worry. The 5G is completely owned, is completely controlled now, and they are being refitted. And that's part of my stunning information that I have on Elon Musk today. Some incredible news, just to make it clear to everybody about Elon Musk flipping to the right side, and what's going to be upcoming with that. So don't worry. These executive orders that Trump has put into place have allowed the American government to seize everything, and they're in control of everything. There isn't a rogue country out there. There isn't a rogue corporation on the Fortune 500 list that's out there. There's no rogue bank that's out there. Every major player has already capitulated and are in control. So when you hear these stories constantly that 5G is, they're saying they're going to roll it out, and then we're going to get vaccinated and we're going to be chipped. The chip is going to be people are scaring you, and some of that is coming from existing governments. But again, it's designed to wake the masses. Charlie said at the beginning of the show, what's scary is that 90% of the people don't know any of this, and that's the problem. We have to wait. We have to tip the balance from 10-90 to at least 50-50 by the time we move closer to November, or else we're in a dangerous situation, because even with the takedown of the cabal, we're going to be left with sleepwalkers. What have you always experienced or been told about sleepwalkers? Don't wake them up, because if you wake a sleepwalker up, they're dangerous either or to themselves or to you or to both. And that's the danger that we have. You just need to understand, everyone, there's a ticking time bomb, and it's us. Because they have performed vivisection on us, and they have performed vivisection of our minds on us. We have all been MK'd Ultra to a degree by whatever role that we've allowed them to play via TV and movies and the mainstream media in our lives. So we've all been MK Ultra'd.
It's very important to point out there, Charlie, as well, that you and I both know this, that Donald Trump is allowing the deep state to expose their hand on the vaccine, on 5G, to show how evil they are, but he will stop them before it's too late. 100%.
Yes, no country, there's no rogue country that's going to be the exception, because there's a story now going in Sweden. I made an emergency request, and I got a confirmation right away. Nope, it's not 5G. Whatever it is, we're going to look into it, but whatever it is, trust us, it's not the 5G towers. And that's what people are now saying, or it's been going on for about a week now, that Sweden has unleashed the 5G. No, there's no 5G towers that are armed left. They're all being reconverted. In fact, virtually all of them have been reconverted to what are called these Tesla towers. And there's two aspects to the Tesla towers that we'll get into today that are very important, very, very important about these Tesla towers. And also what we're going to talk today is also how the Tesla towers tie into the gold standard in a way that most people have never, ever considered as a possibility. But there's incredible times are coming. And you hear that in Trump's speeches all the time. He's just saying that very soon I'll be sharing things with you that none of you ever thought were possible. You've never considered this. You've never thought they're possible. And because he's standing on a gold mine of public releases that are going to change our ride forever.
Yeah, I could not agree more. And he is, without a shadow of a doubt, totally in control of it right now. And not just in control of America. He's in control of everybody right now.
That's right. And the British people need to wrap their heads around this. They stopped the assassination hit on Theresa May because she was the Phoenicians, the black nobility, actually had her earmarked to be assassinated. There was going to be an assassination event while she was at the EU, an EU meeting in Brussels. And the NSA provided all the intel to her and showed how detailed the plan was and how she was going to be taken out. I'm not privy to what that information is and how, but she was scared. She was scared witless when she saw all of this. And then the Q team with Trump made it very clear. The person they wanted to be put forth by the conservatives was Boris Johnson. So no matter how much Boris Johnson does, it absolutely does look like the worst and the most evil prime minister that Great Britain has or the UK has ever had. He isn't. He's playing a very contrived role, and it's necessary. It's necessary.
Well, I understand he was told to create confusion and fear.
Yes.
He's done exactly that in grand style. And he's very, very good because he's sort of a bit of a bumbler. He bumbles along, which is perfect for now. But people are worried as to what he is. But no, he's there to do a job. And he's in constant contact with Trump.
Yes.
And he's got a number of people he puts out front who
yes.
create perfect confusion and fear.
That's
when
right.
You know that, you sit back and laugh. And when you don't know, you just wonder what the hell's going on.